right, 99.9 Punk World Radio FM. You guys already know what time it is. And right here, right now, we are joined by the ever so talented, we got Griffin of Years Down, Colorado, Denver, Colorado, my apologies, finest right here on the radio station airwaves. Griffin, how you doing tonight, man?
Doing pretty good, pretty good.
Oh, man, same down here in Canada. We're finally getting that warmer weather down here in Canada, so we're almost there. Like they always say, April showers brings May flowers, man. So I'm really looking forward to that summertime heat, man. I'm getting sick and tired of the rain and the cold. So I don't know how it's like out there in Denver, but hopefully you guys are getting the same good weather that we're getting out here in Canada.
It started to turn tide a little bit here over the past couple of days, but we had a show with opening for Driveways last weekend, and it was crazy snowy. We were worried it was going to really hurt turnout, but it came through. It was really great.
I think as well as also like Colorado as well with the mountains. I think some people are probably just used to the snow. Probably by now. I mean, they're so used to the mountains and the snow. They're probably like, fuck it, I'll just snowboard there if I have to.
Yeah, it's real unpredictable out here. Like I said, it was maybe in like the 90s, 80s for most of the week, and then as soon as the weekend hit, it dropped down to like 30s, 40s, and we had like a whole snow shower and everything. So it was, you never know out here. You just got to learn to kind of roll with the punches.
But I know as well, you guys have been doing some phenomenal things, not just in Denver, Colorado, but in punk rock in general, man. And I have to take you back to the very beginning of Years Down, and I just have to ask, like, how did you all first meet and come together as one to form this killer punk rock band?
So the band was originally started by myself and our drummer, Ben. We went through a few lineup changes until we finally got it down solid. We added Dylan Beresford, our guitarist, and Sterling Swanson, our bassist, and really haven't looked back since then. It's pretty much been the team.
And also as well, man, especially when you find people that just fit, you can feel the chemistry. You know what I mean? Once you get the pieces to that puzzle, you can look at it and just sense, this fits. This is where we're meant to be, man. Sometimes some members don't fit, but when you find the right members, when you find the missing puzzle pieces, man, you know when it's right.
Yeah, it was definitely like a love at first sight kind of thing when I ran into Dylan and Sterling. We were in sort of like a transitory period where we were trying to get a little bit more serious, do a little bit more in terms of touring and production and everything that goes into being a band. And it's been a complete blessing having them come across our paths and like having them link up with us.
And I do know as well, I don't know how it's like out in Denver, but out here in Canada, the one thing I've heard from many punk rock bands is finding a drummer is the absolute hardest thing to actually do, is finding a drummer that is actually down with the band, man. Like, I see the head nodding, so it shows that even out there in Denver, the struggle is real for punk rock drummers.
Yeah, finding a good drummer is hard enough. Finding one that isn't in, 4 or 5 different bands is a total another challenge, because you get a really good drummer out here and they're like, oh, I can just play in this band and this band and this band, and they're, before you know it, they're overcommitted, and you're just like, hey, can we get a show in, get a practice? But yeah, he's top notch.
And also as well, December 19th of 2021, you guys actually released the amazing single titled Backbreaker. I was wondering if you can actually just tell us a bit more about this song, and of course, what ultimately made you guys decide to create a wrestling-inspired track?
So it was written about a pretty traumatic breakup that I went through. It was a really, really difficult relationship, endured some emotional and physical abuse on the way out and throughout portions of the relationship. So, I kind of I was inspired by not only seeing those crazy wrestling injuries where they're down and they still managed, and obviously to a certain extent it's real, they're down and they still manage to get back up. And I'm also a huge Batman fan. So the genesis for the song title was basically one of my favorite DC Batman stories is whenever he gets his back broken by Bane and his sort of journey back from that to retake the mantle and become the Cape Crusader again. So that was sort of where like the inspiration for the title came from. It was like I had just been through such an intense trauma and had been so beaten down and so broken that it was kind of like my catharsis and like my way out, and sort of, you know, my comeback story, if you will.
And I first and foremost, Griffin, got to give you a huge round of applause, man, because I know how hard it is to even write a song about that, let alone talk about it. Me personally, I've actually been through physical abuse from my ex as well. A lot of when I talk about it, a lot of people be like, "Man, you're a man. Why are you admitting it?" But at the end of the day, man, it takes a real man to actually admit it and to get away from it, man. So I got to commend you, man, for just, you know, putting your story out there and showing individuals, not just myself, but individuals all across the world, other men that go through like spousal abuse and whatnot, that you're not alone. You can actually come out and talk about it, man. So I got to give you a round of applause, man. It takes a lot to actually talk about that.
Thanks, man. Yeah, and I'm glad that you managed to make it out the other side too. Yeah, you know, I feel like the big thrust of our music, a lot of the point of it all is just letting people know that, you know, you're not alone. You know, everyone goes, well, to a certain extent, everyone goes through these sort of problems. Hopefully you never have to, but you know, if you do, we want you to know that there's someone out there that's been through the shit, that totally gets it, and that it's okay to like you said, to sort of come out and not be ashamed of the fact that, like, I know, you know, male spousal abuse, male abuse in relationships, it's kind of like that whole machismo thing. Like, you know, you're supposed to be tough, and, you know, how did you let this happen? And like, you know, you're a guy, you can't get abused, but like, that's, you know, that's entirely not the case at all. You know, it's very true that it can go both directions.
Yeah, man, with me, I actually live with a fractured skull every day, man. I got a 5-inch hairline fracture in the back of my skull. I get massive headaches, so that's why I wear a baseball cap all the time, because I shave my head bald, because I get like maybe a centimeter thick of hair. I get nonstop headaches, so I got to keep shaving my head every week, man. It definitely saves it from the surgery. They said I could get it fixed with surgery, but I don't trust a doctor with a saw near my head, so I'm just gonna keep shaving it until I can't shave it anymore.
No, that's fair. That's fair. Plus, I mean, hats are always a vibe, you know?
Yeah, it's also, too, I mean, the only thing you really do is chuckle about it. I mean, it sounds rough. That's my coping mechanism, is just gotta chuckle it away. But I know one day that surgery's coming, but best believe if a razor will work for now, then I'm gonna put that razor to work, dude.
Yeah, we definitely bring all the dark humor, for sure.
But also as well, man, May 11th of 2022, you guys were actually featured on Gunpoint Alibi's single titled Chlorine. I was wondering, how did you guys actually get connected with Gunpoint? And of course, what was it like just collaborating with them on this particular single? Because I gotta say, this song is absolutely fire, man. Like, the way you guys come together on this song is totally rad.
Oh, thanks, man. So one thing is they actually go by Horizon now. They changed it so that, you know, things would be a little bit more radio friendly. But it was pretty awesome. We teamed up. I've been a fan of their singer Morgan since the first show that we played with them. You know, just struck by her ability to not only perform but also write. It was sort of her idea to do a collaboration. And she came up with the track. We sat down and we tag teamed the verse that I do, and then sort of figured out where we would go with how I would participate for the chorus and everything else. But yeah, that was actually all done in, I think we got it all knocked out in maybe like one session. It was pretty awesome. We linked up, and it was just like, you know, magic kind of happened. Like, and like you said, it came out as a great track. So if that stands any testament to like her ability to write and, you know, do composition and production, without a doubt.
And it's actually pretty cool that you guys actually got that done in one session. It just shows the chemistry that both bands in this song actually have. Because I've heard stories where, like you guys, you know, like one session knock it out of the park, and there's like 3 or 4 or 5 sessions because bands are fighting, like, I don't like this sound, or, you know, no, I want it this way. So the fact that you guys got it all done in one session just shows just how well both bands in this party actually work together.
Yeah, we really it just really gelled, and it was actually funny. Whenever I came in to record it, I had just been recovering from COVID, so I was a little worried that like my voice wouldn't hit just as right, and you know, as the proof is in the pudding, I guess, as they say, you know, it kind of came out looking pretty decent.
And also as well, May 5th of 2023, you guys actually released the amazing 7-track album titled December State of Mind. I was wondering if you can actually just tell us the story behind this amazing album, and of course, where can we actually buy or stream ourselves a copy of it today, almost 1 year later in 2024?
So it's available all streaming platforms, YouTube, Bandcamp as well, Spotify, Apple, pretty much anywhere that you can acquire music. You can check it out. The whole idea behind December State of Mind was just sort of this collection of songs about my mental health and the difficulties that I was having at the time, and the whole title basically being, you know, everything in December is dead. You know, it's a period of loss, but also rebirth and like growth from the end of the year. And so sorry. I just lost my train of thought. Terribly sorry.
It happens to be all the time, man. Trust me, no worries.
Yeah, I hit a pothole, as they would say out here, you know. So yeah, it was basically just like I was really struggling at the time, and the whole idea is that, you know, you can, even in the middle of summer, you can still have this attitude of self-deprecation, negativity, depression, sort of regardless of what time of the year it is, which is why, you know, the whole state of mind aspect to the title. And of course the album art, you know, the clarity with the cloud over it, with the rest of the crowd kind of being sort of faceless. You know, sometimes you just sort of feel like I said, you know, sort of feel like you're the only one that's kind of going through this, and no one necessarily really knows what's going on internally, because you might just be putting on that face to sort of, you know, not necessarily appease people, but just because you don't want to bring everyone else down with your problems all the time. You know, you don't want to constantly be that Charlie Brown character in everyone else's lives that's always kind of going through it.
And also as well, because I do know this is obviously almost 1 year. May 5th, 2024 is coming up very quickly. But if you don't mind me asking, like, were there ever any hard copies produced of December State of Mind? And if so, is there actually still some available that fans of years down can actually purchase today?
I wish that we had been able to do that. We haven't gotten to the point in our career where we can afford to do hard copies just yet. We're still t-shirts, hats, you know, hoodies, those kinds of merchandise sort of things. But I think hopefully on the 1 year anniversary, we could get maybe like a limited pressing out. It would be tight to have it on vinyl, obviously. I think a cassette and CD set would be really cool as well. It's just a matter of finances at this point, basically.
I agree, man. I miss the old days when you can go to like a Dollarama or a Dollar Tree, man, or a Dollar General, and just get like one of those stacks of like CDRs, and then you just go back, slide it in your PC, and burn CDs. It'd be so much easier if they still had those discs available to be purchased. I don't know if they have them out in the States, but here in Canada, good luck finding them. I think the only place you can find those are like thrift stores. But it'd be great for independent bands like yourselves is to get those CDs again, slide them in a computer, and just burn your music and then pass the CDs out. But I mean, I know a lot of the people that are probably about 18 years old or a little younger are probably like, what the fuck is this guy talking about right now?
Yeah, I definitely came from the CD and tape generation, so like I think it would be really cool to have it on a physical medium for sure. And like you said, you know, if we really wanted to DIY it, we could just get out there, I guess, and just, you know, figure it out on our own. You know, find some of those thrift store stacks of CDRs and put a quick burn on them.
Yeah, man, I miss CDRs. I can't count how many times I made so many amazing mixtapes back in the day. I still have a few of them, but
Same.
I made them like 15, 16 years ago, back when my music taste was all over the place. So I'm kind of scared to actually put it in my car because I don't know what people around me are gonna think, because you never know. It could go from a punk rock song to something totally left field where it's like, oh, dude, I was like 13, leave me alone.
I'm sure there's like there's a Crank Dad by Soldier Boy on there, at
Yeah,
least one of those
probably.
for sure. Yeah, same. I
I
still have a lot of my old ones as well.
Yeah, man, my mixtapes went from like Chingy to like some 41 to like Len to like maybe like an old pop song, and it's like, where did I get these music tastes from, dude? Like what?
It's a true mixtape. It's a true mixtape.
But also as well, March 1st, 2024. While we're on the topic of mixtapes, because this song I feel like deserves to be on everyone's mixtape, whether it's digitally on Spotify or even on a disc. You guys released your most recent single titled "Can't Shake This Feeling." I was wondering if you can actually just tell us a story and inspiration behind this killer song.
So obviously I struggle a lot with mental health. If you look at any of the lyrical content of what we've put out, this is just another song sort of in that same vein. It is about a harrowing night that I had one particular evening when I was all alone and felt super isolated and was engaging in some negative self-coping mechanisms. And that's sort of where the first verse and second verse kind of came from, was basically the negative self-coping, and then the difficulty with feeling like like it says in the lyrics, like I feel like I'm always breaking down. It seems like so many of my peers, while they still struggle with these sorts of issues, were kind of having a bit of a come up. They were figuring out how to live with the disorders and the disabilities that they experience. And that's kind of like the whole they're busy planting gardens, planning their future, trying to like look forward ahead, while I'm just constantly focused on digging my own grave and engaging in these negative self-coping mechanisms and stuff like that. And that sort of leads into the pre-chorus where I say, I know I said I'm all right, but I lied. And then you get into the chorus where it's just basically I reached out to our guitarist Dylan when I was going through that particular evening, and we sort of talked, and he kind of helped me through what I was experiencing. And to that line of my friend, my mind is playing tricks on me, my friends, they all disagree, but even though I have all these other people telling me that things are okay and that I'm going to be all right, it's I still have like this nagging voice in the back of my head, kind of persistently saying that things aren't going to get better, that I'm going to continue to struggle. And that's kind of the whole gist of the song, is trying to remind myself through this this particularly rough night that things are going to get better, and I am going to be okay, even though I was having like suicidal thoughts that night. So
And is this song actually one of the first singles off your guys' up and coming record, or is this just a single that you want to put out just by itself?
I believe it's going to be coming off of our new EP. We're still forming it out. It's going to be about 7 songs. We've got another one that should be released about middle of next month, called Falling Again. And that's one of your classic breakup songs, going through a difficult relationship. And a few others on the forthcoming EP sort of fall in that same genre, same vein as breakup, love songs, stuff like that. And then we have a few others that are a little bit darker, sort of dealing with like difficulties with communicating with partners and relationships, and again just continuing to engage in like toxic, negative coping mechanisms and stuff like that, and just kind of trying to help see through that and find your way out. I believe we're settled on the title of Condolences will be the EP title.
And also as well, this past Monday, you guys actually took the stage at Luna Fest in Boulder, Colorado. I was wondering if you can actually tell us a bit more about this performance. And of course, do you guys have any other up-and-coming shows? That way, Years Down fans can come on out and see you guys live in full effect if they haven't already done so, or if they want to see you again for the first, second, or millionth time.
So the LunaFest was great. We actually kind of got added to that super last minute. We just slid into Luna Wolf's DMs and we're basically like, festival ad, please, like little side eye. Are there any more slots? Maybe. And she was wonderful enough to include us, and it was really awesome because a lot of our other friends, Barry Mia, Capture This, Horizon, Koi Pond, so many other fantastic local bands, Stray the Course, were a part of the festival as well. So it was really just like an opportunity to sort of engage with the majority of the Denver pop punk emo community and just get a chance to sort of hang out with our friends and share our music like we always love to do. As far as upcoming shows, we are going to be opening for Boys of Fall, Greywind, and Good Terms in Colorado Springs on the 8th of May. And we have a show with our friends Dancing with Dante on May 25th in Broomfield, which is about like 30-ish minutes outside of Denver. And then our next Denver show, we're going to be opening for All in Your Head Palettes alongside what I'm sure will be new friends, Still Gonna Bail, at Larimer Lounge, and that's on the 27th. And then we have another great surprise plan that we can't talk about right now, but it is pretty cool, and it's going to be at the end of June.
And also, as well, I have to ask, what is next for Years Down? Because obviously we just briefly spoke about your new EP, Condolences, is currently in the works, and of course, these amazing shows, and of course, a surprise as well that's going to be coming to the fans very soon. But aside from all that, what is next for Years Down? Like, is there anything we happen to miss during this evening's interview? Anything else you do still want to touch on, talk about, or promote? We still got you here live on the radio station airwaves tonight.
So like I said, we've got those shows coming up. We always try and put on as much of a ripper as we can. I don't know if you've had a chance to check out our live footage, but definitely cruise over to our Instagram or our TikTok. We've got some fantastic snippets. You can kind of get an idea for what a Years Down show is. We try and bring as much energy as possible, as the jokes, the positivity, just really channel like that classic, early aughts, 2000s pop punk, like in a VFW hall kind of vibe. We're hoping to be hitting the road here sometime in the middle of May. We've got a couple dates lined up out of state, Arkansas, Kansas, Oklahoma City. And then just for the rest of the year, basically running out every weekend that we can to hit a new couple of cities. Just trying to meet new people who are enjoying the music and find new fans and discover new bands that, we'll hopefully make lifelong friendships with.
And also, well, I know you mentioned your social media handles, but for people down here in Canada that do not know how to follow Years Down, how do we go about following you guys across all social media platforms? That way we can stay updated on these up-and-coming shows, the Condolences EP, and everything else you guys got going on.
So it's Years Down just across the board on pretty much everything: Facebook, Instagram, Spotify. Just type in Years Down. You can't go wrong. We're pretty easy to discover. Our logo is like this cute little ghost. You'll know it when you see it, basically, sort of thing. We're super accessible, very friendly. Feel free to, slide into the DMs, hit us up in a comment. We're bound to reply at some point.
And I gotta say, first and foremost, thank you so much, man, for giving not only myself, but the radio station airways a bit of your time, man. It was such an honor speaking with you. I really cannot wait to hear the Condolences EP when it does drop to the general public. I already know that I will be pre-saving it once that link is available, so I love your guys' music. Keep doing what you guys do best, and that is making some killer, totally rad punk rock, man. You keep making it. We here at 99.9 Punk World Radio FM, we are going to keep spinning it.
Dude, thank you so much for having us on. We were so stoked to be a part of it whenever you reached out. This is definitely one of the first sort of on-air live sort of things that we've done before. So definitely checking the box on that bucket list, and thank you for all that you guys do for the local community and underground musicians, and as well as, I mean, I know you've spoken with some crazy huge acts. I think you spoke with Mest a couple of
Yeah.
yeah. That's so
Yeah.
awesome. Big influences on us, so very cool.
Yeah, yeah, man. When I speak to big people like that, a lot of people always say like, once I started getting the big bands, everyone was thinking I wasn't gonna do independent bands anymore, and I'm like, dude, there's some independent bands out there that actually can play and perform just as good or even better as these legends, man. So of course, I'm not gonna deny talent, man. You could have one listener all over the world, and you could be one of the best musicians ever. It just shows you haven't got discovered yet. If I could help bring a platform to amazing bands like yourselves, then of course I'm going to do it, man. I don't care how many followers you got. If you make killer music, that's what it's all about to me, man, is the music.
Well, hell yeah, man. Like I said, we really appreciate it. And, what we like to tell anyone that, kind of raises their eyebrow or gives us a little side eye whenever we hit them up is, your favorite band was a local band once. Don't be afraid to give something new a shot.
Exactly, and back in the day when I was younger, we didn't have no Instagram followers or Facebook followers or stuff like that. So I mean, at the end of the day, I don't go by followers because I didn't have that shit back in the day. I just listened to a song, picked it up, and I was like, you know what, this band's actually kick ass, and then I'm gonna go buy some more. So that's where I'm from. I'm old school. If I like the music, I'm gonna put it on a pedestal, man, because I go where the good music goes.
Hell yeah, yeah, same, dude. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, man, but no, you guys keep making it. We're definitely gonna keep spinning it, man. Thank you so much again for your time. And I do know down the line we can definitely make this happen again sometime soon. But for now, definitely have yourselels a phenomenal night and safe travels as well to your up and coming gigs.
Dude, thanks, and hopefully next time we can get the full gang on here, so it's not just me running my mouth the whole time.
Hey, man, no worries. Whenever the Condolences EP drops, I'll be sure to reach back out to get you guys back on, because I do know there's a lot more stuff we can definitely talk about.
Hell yeah, sounds good.
Sounds great, Griffin. Thank you so much again, man. Have yourself a phenomenal night.
Thanks for having me. Be safe.